and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Fields of Glory Empires, where I think it was actually in the middle of the turn. Because I started the turn, well, I'm not planning on starting the turn, but then I started the turn anyway, what's the hopes. We'll go siege this one down. Get that guy moving. You're awaiting reinforcements. You're carrying out a siege. You're doing a little bit of fortification while your reinforcements arrive. You're sieging. We do probably want to get over and face Macedonia at some point. But for the moment, we need to spend time collecting money to be in preparation for our next decision, which is to upgrade it to the Imperial Legions. Culture, loyalty, not a bad choice. The Glassworks is also tempting. Apparently don't have any places that produce glass, so we'll go the Glassworks here. Otherwise, we'd go the boat one. We also need to move people over to infrastructure, so that stuff actually builds. Because right now, apparently, we're running an infrastructure deficit. Okay, so there's gonna be no growth here, but we're gonna get the Glassworks coming along. 3 building locations here. Could do the clothing manufacturer to get the 6 commerce building. Yeah. Granary. We could use the loyalty in the Noble District, so we'll do the Noble District. Don't need the loyalty that bad here. Could grab the wax maker. It's not a really good wealth building here. Might just go for the clear water in hopes of fish up a better commerce building. And then everyone off of infrastructure off of food onto infrastructure if possible. That'll slow down growth, but we want the buildings built, of course. We want those buildings built. Okay, slow down here. Here we actually have enough infrastructure that we're still infrastructure positive, which is good to see. You're building large walls. Do you need that much to build the large walls? No, you can spare another 43. We got you exiting. We'll just call it good for the moment there. Open build slot. Could grab the temple, and probably will grab the temple. Because conversion rate here will help loyalty in the long run. Because you can see the Celtic citizens have 4 productivity, 4 unrest, whereas the Italic citizens have 7 productivity, 2 unrest. So it halves the unrest. Well, reduces the unrest. It might not actually reduce the unrest if you get enough citizens, because I think you have so many number of citizens, and the rest goes up of a type. So there's some places you'll see where I have like red Italic citizens, and that's just we just have so many citizens there. But it should also raise their productivity as well, which is nice. Monument. Help with the culture decadence ratio. And again, conversion. More conversion. I might not need quite so much in infrastructure. So like you're not needed. And you're not needed. Okay, so I can basically take all the people who's not a slave, possibly off of infrastructure, and toss them on to money making. Yeah. And we'll roll with that. In theory, I can get a little bit more off of infrastructure and toss them to food or something, but I think it'll be fine for the moment. Don't need you on food anymore. Got 4 open building slots here. Culture's tempting. Theater is just a nice culture building. Could go Wheelmaker so we can upgrade the road. Yeah, let's go Wheelmaker so we can upgrade the road. We got a guy in the neighborhood for road upgrades as well. Oh, before I get distracted, we just did 7th province, so 8th province. 1 place to build. Probably build that Oration Tribune. Honestly, doesn't need that much infrastructure, basically needs net positive. So once again, we'll take off of production, assign to money. Because we are desperate for money. So you can see here, under pacification penalizes commerce and culture more than it penalizes production. So we're not actually, we're going to leave these guys specifically under production. 37 spare food. Okay, so we can basically take everyone off of food production here. We don't need anything on infrastructure, so we can go ahead and everything else onto money. In unrest, okay, the stacking modifiers here says those want to be on production. Because we actually get something from production in that situation. In fact, so much so I think we probably just want to drop these guys to food. Yeah, production stable, a little bit more food, making more money. Then we got 2 sets of 2 open building slots. Decent culture and money. Preceptor house. Get the decadence down. Okay. And then that's probably overkill from infrastructure standpoint. Yeah. And yeah, okay, we need like 10 infrastructure being made. So places that aren't in unrest or occupied because they're part of the war, swap them over to money, get more money coming in. Okay, and now we want to go idle region by idle region. So this is an idle region. It's actually probably an idle region where we do want to run decent amount of food because it is next to our troops right now. This isn't the place where I want to recruit heavy cavalry, I think. Could do the blacksmith here. Wouldn't also be a bad herbalist, I think. We'll do the blacksmith. That'll get us access here to commerce buildings. And yeah, we definitely don't need this many on structure. We need 1 infrastructure. There we go. Besiege people, work on food. Yes. Irrigation system would be food positive, and if that's the case, we should probably do it. Because it would be even more food positive in a place that's not in open rebellion. Okay. Okay, conversion bonus here. Currently, we're not receiving any troops being fed from this area, so we can go full off of food and on to production to get that built faster. People are being fed by this province, so we might want to take them off of food to put on to supporting the troops. Food, yeah. So hunter-gatherer here is armor, so we're on the lookout for armor. Training ground wouldn't be that bad. Take a training ground here. Decent mint, decent bank. Yeah. Do that. No food buildings still. We don't have any health buildings, so I suppose we wanted to maximize growth here. We probably want more health or more kosher buildings because we're probably gonna want loyalty at some point very soon. So yeah, let's do the tavern. That'll give us some loyalty, give us one more step towards getting higher level culture buildings. More loyalty here. Don't need that much on food. Did I skip over the... Oh no, this is a different province. It's a province we haven't built up enough. Oh, Bates. This is a big province. We may want it at some point just because it's a big province. Big provinces are nice. Because of the being able to spread people out and infrastructure out. Okay, so we need some people on food just to support it. Province, but that'll work. Okay, that's all their stuff. Any items in the news we should care about? Looks like no. A little bit of slave revolt. Was that 2 slave revolts? Where's the other slave revolt? No? Saw 2 slave revolts, but I'm only saying 1 actual revolt. Maybe it was it might be a double-sized revolt, because it's 5 big, right? Yeah, it's a double-sized revolt, that's what's happening. The troops that we have sallying there should be able to handle it. Rough terrain. Mountainous guys, our guys specialize in that, so that'll be good for him. Okay, let's do an Art of the Siege to accelerate... Actually, make that siege take longer. Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. You're fine, you're fine. You're sieging. Siege is supposed to be quick. The wall falls, we'll order a storm. This guy should receive his reinforcements 2 turns, I believe, from the last time I checked. Which would have been this turn ordering. Actually, that group is arriving. So that's the advantage of recruiting them on Corsica. So the skirmishers will arrive to support the heavy infantry, but the second batch of heavy infantry will take another turn. Another thing we can do is, decision-wise, apparently we have a lot of metal and a lot of people in the army. So metal's not so precious. Turn it into money. People are not so precious. Tell them we're going to pay them less if they show up, so that we can save on wages. And then next turn, hopefully we'll have enough that we can do progressively reform the Legion. Okay, let's cycle that turn. Realizing I forgot to put a timer, so we're going to start a timer so that I have an idea of how long this recording's going. Here's the Sally. Ranged phase. Bunch of exhausted, tired defenders. 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2. And we did win against the revolt, so the revolt is put down. We're having a fight here. Carthage has come to us. We may actually lose here. Battle ended in a draw. We lost another one of the heavy infantry. Oh, and Carthage backed off. Okay. So yeah, we still definitely need to wait for that heavy infantry before we can carry out our counterattack with that army. That's kind of the shame of having generals that are not both good at attacking and defending, is they don't do both very well. Who'd have guessed? So sadly, either our decadence has risen or culture hasn't risen to keep up with it. But we've dropped into the stable ranking. This is competitive, so I suppose the answer might also be that a lot of people have just gone up. Like the Kildabari here have supposedly gone up 18 ranks. Like, some of these are people going up, not necessarily us going down. Siege of Malta. What would be Malta? Roman Malta has fallen. Carthage Malta has fallen. Displace some slaves. And we didn't get enough. Didn't get enough to do what we want to do. Okay. Let's march deeper into the desert. We will have you build limes as you go. Siege has no walls. Okay. Order the assault. If they don't surrender, win the siege, basically. Same here. No walls. Order the assault if they don't surrender. Let's bring this group ashore. Like so. And we'll bring the Navy around to blockade the harbor if they do take the city before we get there. Laying siege here. That's a new siege. You've been ordered to go into a province you can't go to because of Blizzard. You're on the way. I don't think we have anything for you to build in the current place. No. Nothing to build there. Working the glassworks there. We do want the money, so we're not going to slow anything down. Can build something here. Don't need the loyalty, otherwise we'd pick up the gladiator school. We'll probably go to the weaver's shop for more money. Though 19 infrastructure is tempting. Yeah, we'll go to the weaver shop for money. Nothing to build there. Stuff actually to build here. Scriptorum. Cult site for the culture. And yeah, okay, so don't think we can get you to finish in a turn. And yeah, we can't get you to finish in a turn, so we're not even going to bother putting these guys on the stat. They're not very good at that province. The building finishes in the same amount of time either way. The mint. That's a weak tannery. So we don't really need that benefit. Don't need that benefit. Don't need that one. So it's either the tannery or it's a reroll here. You know, it's so bad I'm actually gonna take the reroll here. One build slot. Sweet Polar. 8, we got another build slot. We don't need the loyalty, so we're not going to do the gladiator school. What we'll do is we'll grab the training grounds. It's a 0 slot building. Basically use it to reroll. One open slot here. Again, I think we'll go training grounds. Not quite enough to finish the training grounds. I think we need to swap one more guy over to make production or make infrastructure. That is the case. Need one on food, so that sorts the food. Could build wells. Yeah, build wells here. You know, we can get more guys off of food. Decent food building. Less interest in the seed storage than wells. Wells has a nice upgrade path. That is a good bank. Yeah, we'll go to the bank here. As tempting as it would be to do the other one as well. And this is Malta. Right now, a bad place to build a royal treasury, given the fact that we might literally be handing it over to the enemy at some point. Same thing with the Legion Camp. We don't want to do Legion Camp. Do Smokehouse. Okay, so that's all the provinces. Now we're on to the individuals. Actually, let's put these guys on money. Here's individual. Got something to build. Ooh, tool workshop. Yes. Would be worth doing if we had the coral. We don't. No food building here. Precept house is a no-brainer. Okay, that's all the buildings assigned. Okay, you lost your general. That is not good. We'll give you a tactician. 0-1 tactician, at least. He won't be good at attacking, but he will at least be good at defending. Which, I suppose if we're out here in the basically out here in the Libyan desert, we probably don't need to necessarily be attacking, or need to be specialized in attacking to deal with most of the threats. The main Carthaginian army is over here, and it's actually starting to take losses, right? So there's 25 guys here, there's 14 guys here. They're a bit attrited. Then actually this is probably the main one, those African war elephants, which are in the open very scary. Right, 7 attack. They even get bonus attack in the desert. Right. But the flip side is they don't do very good in forest, they don't do very good in mountainous, like really bad mountainous. And they're expensive. These are expensive to build. 20 upkeep. I think they cost like twice as much as the Legionnaires do to maintain. No Bolster colonies to play right now. And I don't think we got any military to support with our artillery. Naval support artillery. So let's go ahead and cycle the turn. Next turn, we'll begin the transition over to new Legion type. Okay, that is the storming of the city. It goes perfectly well. Okay, we'd rather be attacking than defending, but at least in this case we've received most of our reinforcements at this point. Though apparently we might just need reinforcements again. Okay, we won the battle. We inflicted more losses than we took. We lost 1 guy, we killed 4. And we received our reinforcements, so unless I'm going to wait for another 2 turns for them to arrive again, it is time to go on the offensive with that stack. To at least relieve our siege. Okay, we're still in the stable tier. Taking a quick look to see if I can see where Macedonia is. Macedonia is at least not in the... Oh, actually no, they're in the progressing tier. Could spend money to develop infrastructure. We're going to not do that right now. Change recruitment policy. So we can once again send manpower home to get money. Okay, so we're going to go on the offensive. Use our attacker to attack. Who would have guessed it would be a good idea to use the attacker to attack? 12, 17. Okay, so you want to become the province capital. Do you want to relieve? No. Let's take the original plan, which is we want to take fortified locations first. I say as I realize that the next wave of places has no fortifications. So you're not fortified. You're not fortified. You're fortified. So we really want you to go deal with that fortification. And if those are not fortified, I'm a little less aggressive right now. Because these are just big garrisons is what it looks like. 8 unit, 13 units. Yeah. So let's go have you go take that one over for the province. They got walls in time. Okay. It was like, I thought there was no fortifications there, but no. They've got a tiny little bit of wall out in the desert there. Taking that fortification. Oh, it's not fortified. We'll have you attack the visible. In fact, actually, I'm going to tell you, I don't even really care which province you end up in. Get the Carthaginian army there. Three, 6. How many legionnaires do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so 3 of them got lost to the enemy. Pretty sure we don't have the ability to recruit them out on this island. No, we do. We have a Legion camp over there. Okay. We can recruit 2. That's a good start. For reinforcing. And they'll get from Corsica to the army much faster than trying to recruit them back in Rome. Their own ones are probably better. Quality-wise, initial quality-wise, but you don't always get what you want if you want to get your stuff fast. Siege over here is going well. We breached one wall. Breached the second wall with Order of the Storming. And we still have... Not sure how much longer we're going to have them over here. Okay, I don't think we got any colonies that can be bolstered. Yeah, no. Federate Barbarians we can do? Yeah. The Ulster colony, no. Okay, and we still don't have enough. Actually, we would if... oh, I can click the button anyway. Click the button and risk going negative. And I think we'll make enough that we can at least pay for it. Whether that's a smart idea or not, it's a different problem. So we're not going to do anything with those guys, because otherwise we might not have enough money. Nothing that we changed there. Got a new thing to build there. Granary or Basilica? Because of the increased trade range here from the paved road, and we might have a trading port here. It's hard to tell. No, we don't have a trade harbor here. We should get a trade harbor here at some point. Is that in the list of things we can... Commercial port. There it is. Commercial port gives you +1 more trade range. Because of the trade range we have here, we are close enough that we can import frankincense. It's coming all the way from Cyprus. But we're close enough to Cyprus that we can import frankincense. So that makes this a good building. If we didn't have that ability, it'd be a bit meh. Also attempting no barracks. Because I suppose if we got 6 military buildings, we could be trying to fish for the general building. The academy building. More taxes. Shipyard. Do I want that shipyard? Production equipment cost for building ships. It's not a bad plan. And what, is this going to cost us 3 infrastructure a turn to maintain? So yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Yes, the maximum shipyard level. Nothing to build there. Working on the Scriptorium. Scriptorium will finish this turn as long as we provide about 50 infrastructure, and we're providing 120. So we can free up another 70 infrastructure worth of people to work money making. Okay, that went a little overkill. How much more do we need to bring back? Like another 12, so like 3. Did that do it? Yeah, that did it. Coin maker and something else. No, that's not a good wax workshop. Not desperate for the loyalty, and we don't want the decadence here. If we were desperate for the loyalty, or we're just really desperate... Well, if we're really desperate for the loyalty, we'd do this because it would unlock tier 3 culture buildings. Which in and of itself would help with a lot with getting more loyalty. So I think Small House is the best of what we're being offered. Unless I want to do a reroll. Yeah, we're not going to bother reroll. And to be fair, the Smokehouse is going to help move cows around, which also makes more money. Preceptor House is fine. 2 free buildings here, that's nice. Or 2 free building slots here. Preceptor House, and... we do have access to Coral here, so this is pretty decent. And looks like everyone is already culture converted here, so it's all Greeks. So yeah, build the temple. If we weren't looking for money, we'd probably go ahead and try signing more guys to infrastructure production. What's your food? Okay, so we basically make no food growth, but raise production just a little bit more. And now we're onto the individual regions. Don't have a home province at this point, which is something we also plan on probably wanting to fix at some point, but for the moment it's not what we're working on. Preceptor House, or that decadence. And you can see some of the places got real high decadence, right? Nation size is 2.4 decadence. And 10% of the accumulated is removed every turn, but you get whatever the province is being applied every turn as well. So this one's actually still going up. This is not max. Okay. Yeah, we don't have any decisions we do. So let's cycle the turn, see our troops move. And we should hopefully have enough money that we're not in debt after beginning the progression to the Imperial Legion. We're attacking with the guy who's good at defending. 16 units with our 20. Skirmish or skirmish. At least their front line is mostly exhausted and or tired, whereas we've only got 1 exhausted or tired cavalryman. So we've got +5 on this roll, which should hopefully compensate for the fact that we're only getting 1 roll. Yeah, it looks like what's happening. Most situations. We've just got a big enough base roll that it's compensating for the fact our overall is bad. And we lost our cav, so we're going to have to resource cav for this army. Okay, we went up just enough to sneak right back into the progressing tier, but we're barely in that progressing tier. Keep sliding those slaves around so they're reasonably distributed throughout the Empire. In the long run, we probably want them to not be slaves, but you don't always get what you want. Oh, and it's a bit of a shame. We did have at one point a objective of Tunis, but that went away. We got Carthage, Macedonia, Hibernia. Hibernia, I think, is... Oh, Hibernia, that's down here. No, it's Siberia. Where's the Hibernia? Just not recognizing my... Hibernia! Oh, Ireland. We're not going to Ireland. So we're going to let that one lapse. Maybe a question whether we can even get to the Macedonian ones in time. I don't think we are going to. No more walls, order the salt. You're moving, you've just started the siege, so the moment that one stops having walls, you're going to order the assault. This is one nice province. Yeah, don't try to make culture when we've got such a big culture malice. Now that we've got distributed food of the zone, we do probably want to build a Roman camp. And yeah, let's retake these two. And we're going to be working trying to push in on place that siege. We've breached. Let's order the assault. Supposed to be joining up. Same with you. Supposed to be joining up. You're taking that location. We do have enough that we can properly make a province here. So the 14 is probably the best place to put the capital, so I'll put the capital there for the moment. So Ritica will be formed next turn. Oh, I wonder what the provincial is for here. I don't think that's the provincial. Ranged attack 9? Archers are the best support units, but they are rarely available in numbers, in contrast to conventional skirmishers, which have some melee skill, but they do only one thing right. Fighting support the front line. Very brittle if engaged. They should not be allowed to fight in duels with enemy units, so they'll be very easily beaten. Okay. Ah, here's the provincial. Medium cavalry. There's some decent medium cavalry, okay. Oh, interestingly enough, with desertmen. So they're going to be good in the desert. Auxilia and Secretary. Archer class units, okay. Interesting. What's giving me access to these archers? Or is that... It might be because I've swapped over the Imperial Rome or something. We have archers everywhere now. We have archers everywhere now. We've lost our skirmishers everywhere. Right. Skirmishers are gone. We now have Roman Legionnaires, who are 6/5s with a 6 range attack. They don't like forests, don't like mountains. But 6 attack. Auxilia, which are 3/4s, a little bit better at defense. And have a siege resist value of 1 versus... Well, the big thing about the legions here is that they have siege value 2, I think. So these guys we stuff and force that we want to live forever. We put these guys in attacking position. And then instead of our... I suppose at this point we can now swap over to these recruit everywhere archers for our main archers. Okay. So the slingers are now out of date, but that's fine. Most nations don't get archers that are that good. So frankly speaking, I am spoiled. 6/5. Okay, so for straight up fights, the Imperial Legion are not that much better than the normal Legionnaire, than the Marian Legionnaire. Not necessarily seeing any difference. Oh, they do cost more. Now, what might be hiding up the difference here is these guys are 3-star versus 2-star. That might be the difference, is these guys are the same, these guys at 3-star and when they're at 2-star. Do we have any army where I can see where they're both? Grand Legions of 4-star. Yeah, but I don't think this, it doesn't look like the stars are making a big difference. But yeah, we now have the recruit everywhere archers. So you try to attach that army. We want that army to move forward. We're sieging. You'll be even better at sieging than we were thinking before, because it used to be the old Marians. Well, the old Marians had no resist, so we've also gained siege resist. That's the upgrade. So if we have to defend, the Marian legions are actually better at defending forts, or the Imperial legions are better at defending forts. Okay. This group will build a Roman camp as we move, just to put some sort of wall there. Okay, let's go through and make sure there's nothing to change in the provinces that we already got going. Nothing there, nothing there. A lot of places are still focused on money, so not necessarily expecting to see much as we take the tour of our country here. We can import the tools, so that's good. Still costs us money. Builder guilds are expensive, but it is basically trading 10 money for 10 infrastructure. Also, it's a 0 slot, so I think that's good. It's gonna take a while to build, unless I assign people back to accelerating building, but we probably still need the money, at least for a little while. Build up the reserves. Make more money. Make more money. And yeah, we're still balanced otherwise. In fact, you're balanced such that we should probably start signing some of these guys over to production. No, not just most of them, all of them back to food production. So yeah, we have the infrastructure that we can do that. Infrastructure production for the buildings. I could do the opposite here. I can move the food from food to infrastructure to build a forge faster. Probably worth doing. Oh, and I suppose we can check out the new Imperial camps. I can remember where my Imperial camps are. There's one. It's probably still the same. Oh, it gets a infrastructure bonus from tools. So if we get some tools in the area, that's nice. Okay, otherwise it looks about the same. One open building slot. Okay, that because we're getting a bonus on the nearby one, we'll go ahead and take that one. Near our opponents. 8. Nothing necessarily do here. This one's not a good one to actually swap over to money, so we'll leave them on production. And we don't really have that surplus food either. 9, that's fine for what we're working on. Apparently we're actually making too much. Or not making enough food there, so we need to swap a guy back to make food. That's fine. 11. They're going to move in position where these guys probably don't need to make food. Well, it's a province, so we won't worry too much about it because we need to defeat the troops. And then individual territories next. So you've got something. Could do the farm. Farm wouldn't be too bad. Let's do culture because we do want to get the culture up high enough that we can stay on the progressing tier, which is going to get progressively harder as well. Script form for culture? Yeah, 30 culture. Okay, that's all those. We got a prospecting resources again if we need to clear a bad province modifier. Don't think any of the ones we currently have taken have one yet. Okay, that's the next one where we want you to go to. Over there. That fleet. Actually, let's have that fleet advance with the army to help with the sieging. That one's doing what we want it to. That one's fine. That one's fine. Those ones are fine doing what they're doing. These guys we just disband. These skirmishers are just so out of date at this point that we don't need them. That's fine. That's fine. Actually, we could probably want to swap you to someone that's just like a 0-1. There. That way we've got the sieger for if we need a siege general. Regional roads and a lime. Anything else over here? Oh, you need regional roads, so that plays next. Are you ordered to assault? Yes, you are. Okay, so we're ready for the turn cycling, I think. Could, oh, we got no not so precious iron, so we'll sell some the iron. I think we got the money in this case that we can get the infrastructure per pop. We haven't unlocked any emporiums, so we're not really that interested in here. I'm fine with the normal rerolls instead of having to use the pay for the building refocus. Usually. So our current guy's got very good military, even though he's not going to be with us for much longer. And we have high military expertise average at the moment. Hopefully it stays there. In fact, we'd like it to go up, but I think it's probably more likely to go down from the new territories being taken. Okay, we storm. storm goes well. Provincial garrison is going to stop us. And we... oh dear, the that Carthaginian army. Provincial garrison is going to stop us. At least they don't have a fort to hide behind. Nope, we're back in the stable tier again. Though, by the looks of it, that's from people going up. We got 3 of the lower people in the here went up like 6, 11, 31. So, mostly not from us declining. Reform the state and government. Working grant, version. Probably want to try to reduce the government age with reform citizen rights. Okay, where does reform citizen rights? 50% chance that we lose a progress token, which will probably be fine. There we go. Yeah, we got a province here. I'm somewhat worried about the fact that we've got Carthaginian forces doing deep dives like that. Is that literally the most populated? Oh, the inland one here is, but we probably do still want it. Well, it's the only one on the coast, I suppose, so that's probably still the one we want to be the provincial capital. Okay, we're gonna do that. Maybe... Oh, granted, this is our best open field battle specialist, so we're gonna relieve the siege, one way or the other. Or we're gonna try to relieve the siege. Whether it gets relieved or not is maybe a different question. Okay, before I get distracted, 2 more. This is where I should put the part break in. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break, and then we're going to get right back to it. Hopefully this break will be a little bit shorter than the last couple. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part. And bye for now.